My name is Akshay Agrawal. I have secured All India rank 43 in Civil Service Examination 2018. This was my first attempt. My optional subject was economics, and currently I am into the Indian Economic Service. I am undergoing training at Delhi, and today I will be talking about how to prepare for Civil Service Examination without coaching. So first of all, let me tell you that I am not against the notion of coaching, but for the people who cannot afford to take coaching, or for those who are at some remote places in India who cannot come to Delhi to take coaching, for them I'll share my strategy because I also have prepared without coaching for this examination. So first of all, let me tell you that online resources are really a boon for people who cannot take coaching. So there are many YouTube videos available for various subjects like geography, history, art and culture, environment and ecology, and one can really follow them. Secondly, I would say that there are many blogs written by previous year's toppers. They have shared their book list, their resources, and also their notes. So we can really have a look at them and see how we can make use of those. Thirdly, there are toppers answer copies that are available online. So we can download their copies and look how they have written the answers, how they have attempted them. So that really gives you an insight into how really we should take a view of this examination. Then comes the role of various websites that are there. I used to follow websites such as Insights on India, IAS Baba, PIB India, and also PRS. These websites are really useful for this examination, as many questions you can see will directly come from these websites, and if you make a notes out of these websites, then that really becomes very useful at the time of examination. So now, without coaching, how do we do? First of all, I would tell you that we should make a timetable. For that, first of all, have a look at the syllabus of this examination. So there, as we know, there are 4 general studies paper for mains and 2 papers of one optional subject, an Indian language and English, and also there is an essay paper. So first of all, download the syllabus of all the papers and have a look. Then from the toppers blogs or other sources where you can find the book list or resources, what you can do is, on the syllabus copy you can mark as to which topic should be prepared from which resources. After that is done, you prepare your timetable, and in the timetable you should set your targets for months, for weeks, and also for days. So basically setting monthly, weekly and daily targets is really helpful, and one should really honor the targets that one has set. Then comes the part selection of optional. So how should we select an optional subject? Let me tell you that we have to study the optional subject for at least 1 year at the undergraduate to intermediate level. So one should pick up the subject that one will really enjoy reading it for 1 year, because we have to study entire undergraduate level syllabus in just one go for optional subject. For people who are from the science background and love quantitative stuff, they can choose subjects such as mathematics, physics, or geography or economics as well. For those who have a flair of writing and they write and they like writing, they can choose optionals from humanities background like political science, anthropology, or public administration. After you have chosen your optional, now let me tell you how we should really go about preparing. So as we know, there are 2 main phases of this examination. The first one is the mains, the first one is the prelims, and the second one is the mains. In the initial 4 to 5 months of the preparation, we should take an integrated approach towards studying. By that I mean, you should not segregate your preparation for prelims as well as mains, because if we see, the syllabus for prelims as well as mains mostly overlap. The approach should be an integrated one. Now, how did I do it? So I have prepared exactly for 1 year for this examination. In the first 4 to 5 months, make sure that you prepare your optional subject really well along with the basic books such as Lakshmikant for polity, Shankara IAS for environment, etc. Also make sure that you have also prepared all the notes for your optional subject. Once this is done, then for next 2 months, you can start studying for the general studies subject of mains. Prepare notes for them for GS 1, 2 and 3. And then 3 months before the prelims, we can start really focusing on prelims. By focusing on prelims, I mean that we can start solving test series and revise the stuff that we have already studied. Because in prelims, what they do really check is the scope of your awareness of different happenings in the world. So here the most important thing is revision and solving test series At the max, 2 test series should be solved, but even if you can do one very nicely, I think it should be sufficient. Then after the prelims is done, what we should do is we should start preparing for mains after maybe taking a break of 4 or 5 days. And during this time, if your notes for GS as well as your optionals are already prepared, we can directly start with the test series, because answer writing in mains is really very important. In mains, we should have two things in mind. First one is that they are checking your analytical skills as to how deeply you can analyze a particular issue or topic. Secondly, your writing speed. Because you have to write at least 4,000 words in a time of 3 hours, it becomes really difficult to cover it. Therefore, writing speed and writing practice is very essential for mains. So in the 3 months that you have after prelims and before mains, make sure that you write at least 2 papers of every general studies subject, as well as 5 to 6 papers of optional paper 1 as well as paper 2, so that you have a good writing practice, and in the actual exam you will not be leaving anything without attempting. About the essay paper, essay doesn't need any special preparation, but what we can do is we can write at least 4 or 5 essays before the exam. For writing essay, what we can do is we can start picking up a topic and brainstorming different points from different angles. After this is done, you decide in your mind as to how you will introduce the essay and how it will flow along and how you will conclude it. You can spend around 20 to 30 minutes brainstorming and deciding how you are going to present your essay, and then within 1 hour you can write a very beautiful essay. So this was about essay also. Now the question of current affairs and newspaper reading, how important they are. Reading of newspaper as well as following current affairs is very crucial for this examination, as we will see for the last 4 to 5 years current affairs are forming a major portion of the paper of GS 1, 2, 3 as well as 4. So we should be aware of what is happening in India and the world. What are the different issues that are currently taking place, what is the current economic policy of the Indian government, and what are different international relations issues. For this, you can read any newspaper. I used to follow The Hindu and the Mint newspaper, but other newspapers like Business Standard, Indian Express are equally good. Apart from this, I used to follow Insights Daily Current Affairs and Insights into Editorials Daily, and they give you a compilation of all the happenings in India and the world that are relevant for this examination. So this resource is really good for covering current affairs. At the same time, I would tell you that for current affairs, make your crisp notes out of what you are reading from the news as well as from different online resources, because at the time of your examination, whether it is prelims or mains, it will really help you for revising. 2 to 3 months before prelims, the Vision PT365 magazines are out, and they are really very good for revising all the current affairs stuff. Although I could not do them, but I can tell you that they are really good source and you can follow it if you have time. For preliminary exam, the current affairs from November to March are really very important. As you will see, most of the current affairs come from this part of the time, and therefore you should focus more on November to March current affairs before the prelims. Lastly, I would tell you that for cracking this examination, what we need is the right way of deciding things, setting the right targets, and I always believe in doing a little extra from what I have targeted, because this little extra gives you an edge in this competitive exam, and if you really do it, then you can really succeed in this exam. All the best to all the aspirants and have a good day.